It's Friday! We got major news! And we got to talk about it with you on the hottest show on the streets. The number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith, Touchdown, Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you all in here. We bring you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you on YouTube. Speaking of the channel, you know what time it is. I shouldn't have to tell you. Hit the subscribe button right now. Tap subscribe. Get to it. Get every friend, family member, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Tide football to subscribe. Anybody who's addicted to Alabama football, get them on this channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well. Tap that thumbs up. Show us that support. Trying to get the show 50 likes out the gate to start it. My man Jimmy Cash Clay has already handled the Super Chat goal by himself. $100. Throw it in there. Appreciate the love from Jimmy Clay. And all of you donate here too. The show. We got a massive show for you guys. We want to hear from you, the Bama fans. Line us up by calling 205-448-1358. Then I'm going to call in and let your voice be heard on the show. 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. We also got a really outstanding special guest coming tonight on the show. You don't want to miss that as he comes on later in the show. But, Eli, I said we had big news. Let's start the big news. We open this thing up. New starting quarterback for Alabama against South Florida. Tyler Buckner. Transfer from Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish. Touchdown Jesus. Golden Domes. Tyler Buckner will start against South Florida. Coach Saban making this move. Coach Saban rolling the dice here. Putting Buckner out there against the Bulls. The game tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. Central Time. ABC will have the call. Alabama, South Florida. But Tyler Buckner's the starter. And we all saw what took place against Texas last week in the loss. Milroe made some plays. Had 2 touchdown passes when he was able to roll out of the pocket. But he also had turnovers. Coach Saban always talks about the ball, protect the football, right? So Milroe, 2 turnovers there. Saban also mentioned he kind of wanted to pull Jalen Milroe sooner, but kept him out there after he had the big touchdown drive. However, it's been reported, several people, including us here at TDA, Tyler Buckner will start against South Florida. So Buckner here, a young man who played his high school ball at the Bishop School in California, a guy that as a junior had over 4,000 passing yards, 60-plus touchdown passes, just a marquee prospect, a marquee recruit on the recruiting circuit. Now, he did not play his senior year of high school ball because of the COVID pandemic, so his first season at Notre Dame as a freshman, he was a bit behind there on his development. He had some good moments at Notre Dame, some rough moments there, but according to Coach Saban, Buckner, very good final scrimmage of fall camp. Very good. Buckner, according to Coach Saban, has grown in his development, has grown in the progression with the teammates, the wide receivers, his skill set on the field. And this is also somebody of whom Saban said we're very excited to see what he can do. From sources I have spoken with close to the program, Buckner got much of the first team reps with the Wands all throughout this week of practice preparing for South Florida. We're going to see. The big thing we're going to see here, folks, the duo, the combination, Tommy Rees and Tyler Buckner. This is on Tommy Rees right here. Saban said Tommy Rees played a huge role in getting Tyler Buckner in here. Tommy Rees talked about it during the media day portion of Fan Day back early August about what he did to help get Buckner into the program. So here we go. This is the Notre Dame connection. Tommy Rees, Tyler Buckner. Does it work? Will it work? This is a big deal here. Rees brought him in. Rees, familiar with him, knows him from both of their times being with the Fighting Irish. This is big. Will this work? Can this work? I know a lot of people look at the 2015 Alabama season where it started off with Jacob Coker at quarterback against Wisconsin and Middle Tennessee State. And then Saban kind of rolled out there with Cooper Bateman against Ole Miss, thinking it could be something different. Coker comes off the bench in the second half, leads you on a huge comeback that nearly won the game, but he showed you, hey, I'm the guy. It's not Cooper Bateman. We're kind of looking at this game from the same lens, right? You start off with Jalen Milroe, played well against MTSU, had some good moments, but some bad moments against Texas. Now you're rolling out here with Tyler Buckner. We saw in the Gator Bowl against South Carolina when Buckner was out there for the Fighting Irish. Tommy Rees called a lot of those rollout plays, bootlegs, roll the quarterback away from pressure, screen passes to the flat, timing routes, things that got Buckner comfortable. He also did a lot of zone read, RPO type things with Buckner. The young man does have sneaky athleticism. Now, he's not lightning fast as Milroe. His arm may not be as strong cannon-wise as Milroe, but Buckner does have some talent. We're about to see, does the Notre Dame connection work for Alabama football? But Tyler Buckner is getting the start against South Florida. We take our first break here on the show. On Touch That Dial, just getting started. Upon our return, we go on the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. How do you feel with Tyler Buckner starting this weekend? Line us up. We want to hear your viewpoints. We get to you guys after this.
9 players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, folks, we're back into the action, rocking and rolling from the break. Number one ticket for your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA on a Friday. You guys continue tapping that subscribe button, giving us that thumbs up, liking the show, making this your place for all things Bama football coverage. My man Bill from New York, Big Bill, dropping in a $5 donation for the show. Appreciate that from my man Bill. We go to the phone lines right now to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. And I'm going to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205 448-1358. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name. Where you calling from?
I'm lead off tonight, huh? This is Mike from Kentucky. What's up, Steven?
Doing good, Mike. How you feeling?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be twins. Football ain't everything. You know what I mean?
Right. You're right.
Well, I've said before that Buckner don't look that bad on film. He looked pretty darn good against South Carolina, but they had a lot of guys sit out for that ball game defensively. To tell you the truth, I don't know how much of a measuring stick who we played, South Florida or something. I mean, how much of a measuring stick is that? So, we'll see how he looks. I mean, I know one thing about Tyler Buckner, man. He played big boy California high school football. Didn't he play for St. John's Bosco? If I'm not mistaken.
He played for St. John's Bosco, and then he transferred to the Bishop. So he played in two pretty high-profile schools in California.
Yeah, I mean, and Bosco's arch rivals, Mater Dei. So he played some quality snaps in high school. I just don't understand. I'm not knocking Ty Simpson, but he played 1A ball in Jerkwater, Tennessee. Buckner faced 10 times the competition, if not more.
Right.
So he might be up for the challenge. He might not be. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. But I don't think it's that much of a measuring stick. I think they're just giving him a look before we get into SEC play. And, if he don't look way, way, way better than Milroe may end up back on top. I mean, I love Jalen. He's an incredible athlete. That was a big stage he was on, so you really can't compare this game coming up with what happened to Milroe. What do you think, Steven?
You really can't, Mike, because Milroe played against a top program in Texas. You got nothing but firepower over there when you look at the Longhorns. So this game against South Florida is a game to clean some things up that you need to have cleaned up before SEC play. And like you mentioned, give Tyler Buckner a look. Let's see what he can really do. You brought him as a transfer. Here he is. Let's just see what this is about. If he's good, he's good. If he struggles, then okay, we got to go back to Milroe. So this is Tyler Buckner's audition. If you want it, here you go. Take it.
One thing I do know about Buckner, and I don't know if it means anything. I don't know if it's relevant or not, but he is responsible for the single game most yardage, passing, rushing, and high school football history. Number 3 in total yards, single game performance. He rushed he didn't get to play, because California shut everything down with COVID. He didn't get to play his senior year, but he rushed for 1,500 yards and threw for 43, 44 touchdowns as a junior. So the kid's got some game. And one thing I especially like about him, that dude, for a quarterback, he don't slide for nobody.
Right.
He don't. When he runs upfield, bro, he don't slide for nobody, man. For a quarterback, he's got more balls in a bowling alley. So we're going to find out, brother. I'm going to get off and keep my call short. Roll dadgum tide, everybody.
Appreciate Mike from Kentucky calling into the show here, folks. 205-448-1358, the number to call in. We're going to grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name. Where you calling from?
Mike from Chicago. Got a question on this whole Tyler Buckner. The first thing I wanted to just start off with was that Tommy Rees didn't believe in his quarterback when he was in Notre Dame. Before Tommy Rees left Notre Dame, he brought in a transfer. It wasn't like, that's the thing that always gets me. Everybody's talking about Tommy Rees, Tyler Buckner, Tommy Rees, Tyler Buckner. Tommy Rees didn't have total confidence in Tyler Buckner at Notre Dame. And it wasn't until after he left is that he brought over Tyler Buckner. But when he was at Notre Dame, they brought in a transfer. That's how much confidence they had in him. But the only thing I'm going to look at in this game, and I will be very upset, if they move the pocket, run a lot of read options, and do things that is advantageous to Jalen Monroe, then that's when I'm going to be like, okay, I don't get it. So that's the thing I'm looking for. So if they have Tyler Buckner in the pocket and he's passing in the pocket and he's making the reads and the checks and everything, then, hey, I got total thumbs up. I was listening to the Miller's Edge, and Corey was saying the same thing, that when we watched the South Carolina game, there was a lot of read option, there was a lot of pocket movement, there was a lot of things that Jalen Milroe could do if he was doing that. So I just don't understand from the play calling from the Texas game, why was they had him so stationary and locked in that pocket? There was no quarterback runs, there was no lot of read options, there was no RPOs. Again, as I say, I think Texas loss was a whole team loss. So when you replace Jalen, are you replacing Terrion because he got toasted? Are you replacing the tackles? Are you replacing other people who came up short in that game as well? So again, as I said, it's 50-50 for me because he had his opportunity. He's been first team all during the spring. He's been first team all through the summer. So, can't say he didn't have his opportunity, but I do believe they're pulling the trigger too early. So, hopefully, if things work out. I'm always calling here saying trust the GOAT, where here's one time that I'm kind of shaky in trusting the GOAT. But again, as a fan, I just got to say roll tide.
Appreciate Mike from Chicago calling in there. And I've mentioned this myself. The loss to Texas was absolutely a team loss. It wasn't all on Milroe. Offensive line did not do what it was supposed to do. And this is a big game for the offensive line, too. All of the physicality, the toughness, we're going to make them quit, all of this stuff, whether it was Seth McLaughlin, Tyler Buckner, J.C. Latham, they got to back it up now. They got to go out here and roll South Florida and then go out there and try to roll Ole Miss, too. This is a game for the offensive line to man themselves up. They talked all of this big game in the summer. They got to show it here, starting off against USF on tomorrow. We're going to grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hi, Stephen. Bill from New York. What's up, brother?
Doing good, Bill, and yourself.
All right. I have a message for all the people that wanted to switch to Buckner, and that message is roll tide. And I got a message for all the people that think it was a bad move and everything, and that message is roll tide. We're just in this to win the game, and we're here to give our opinions and talk about what we think and learn from other people. Look, I have an opinion. That doesn't mean I'm right. I'm not the brightest bulb on a Christmas tree. I went to Martin Van Buren High School, you know what I mean? Community college. But I have my opinions. I think it was a good move. I think it's going to work. I'm hoping to really see, more usage of the wide receivers, especially Prentice. And I'm going to predict 2 touchdown passes for Kobe.
Okay, 2 touchdown passes to Kobe Prentice. Put that down there, Egan, for my man Bill from New York. 2 touchdown catches for Kobe Prentice. Appreciate Bill from New York giving us that thought there on the show. Kobe Prentice is a good receiver. Really good receiver. Young receiver, talented receiver. Changed his number to number 6 because he wants to follow in the footsteps of one Devontae Smith, a legend, if you will, for Crimson Tide football. We grab this call. Here you're live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name and where you calling from.
Steve, what's up with you, man? This is Jay from Florence.
Jay, how you feeling, man, about tomorrow, Jay? I mean, go ahead and lay it on me, Jay. How you feel about tomorrow, man?
I feel like, man, the thing we need to watch with this quarterback position is Buckner's poise in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Do he got command of the offense? You see what I'm saying? Things like that. Things that the quarterback position is supposed to do. Because Jalen Milroe, he ain't never had his feet get a little too busy in the pocket. Then for a scrambling quarterback, we talk all this, he can run, he's Lamar Jackson, all this and that. Well, listen, man, Lamar used to bounce up out of there. He getting up out of there quickly, dog. Oh, it ain't nothing downfield. I'm going to go and pick up these 10 and get out of bounds. Jalen, it's like he be confused as to when and when not to run. But I don't want to beat the man down, you know what I'm saying? That we all know, glad the change has been made. But I really want to call because, well, Steve, these last few years, I've been harping on what? Coordinator creativity. All summer we heard, we getting back to a heavy run game and the tight ends and all this. Well, where the hell is that? Where in the hell is the tight end play at, Steve? You see what I'm saying? Where's these plays that
I'm wondering where CJ Dupree at.
Man, come on now. What are these plays that you had dialed up for Michael Mayer or whatever my man's name was? Because, see, we got a super athletic Michael Mayer and not black. You mean, what happened to them plays now? Because all summer you lied to me and said this going to be the Bama. We're going back to this. But come on now. And Kevin Steele. Bro, you look like trash, honestly. Everywhere on the defense, we talked about them being 2 to 3 deep everywhere. So we shouldn't, in the fourth quarter, we should never be talking about the defense is tired. How about you rotate some of these guys? You see what I'm saying? How about you get them in there? Go ahead and get some of these younger guys some playing time. We want to see a Christian Story more. We want to see the depth at that Alabama.
We want to see the James Smiths more.
Come on, man! Like, why these people not on the field? It now I feel like it's almost a pride thing. Like, I'm the DC at Alabama, and this is gonna work this way because I'm calling the plays. It seems like it's almost, I don't know, Steve, but the coordinators is the problem again. We pointing the fingers at the players, which we supposed to. They the ones on the field. But come on now, some of these plays they call, and it's like, goodness, did we see any of those middle linebacker blitzes that we saw the first week against Texas? I don't think we did. And if we did,
not one single blitz, Jay, was called. Bama played cover 2 the whole night.
Come on, man. What you scared of, man? Like, what they say, if you scared, where you supposed to go? You're supposed to take your ass on to church. You're supposed to go on to church, buddy. Because out there, that's a man's game. And if the coordinator going to be scared, what we expecting our players to do? You see what I'm saying? You got Tommy Reese showing too much. See, I about got the cousin. You got Tommy Reese showing too much emotion. Hey, bro, we don't want to see after a bad play you put your hands in your head. We don't want to see that out of no coach. If a player do it, you're supposed to pick him up, coach. It's just that simple. We don't never want to see that out of a coach at Alabama, period. You're going to call a play, it didn't go right. Guess what? Move on. No, buddy. They got you on TV for the rest of your life now with your hands in your head after a bad play that you call. As an Alabama coach, man, that make me mad as a fan, and it should make everybody else pissed off too. We ain't been here at that, and we don't want to see that. Oh, no, Steve. I love y'all. Roll Tide, man.
Jay from Florence calling in the realness, the passion, the venting. I think Jay Eli represents all of us in a way. Just want to get back to football we can identify with. Alabama football we can identify with. We take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
What up, Steve? This is JD Long, man.
JD, what's going on, man?
Man, I can't agree with Jay from Florence enough, man. Hey, I was saying the same thing. Now, just get back to me. I don't got no bias with none of the quarterbacks, man. I like all of them. But I feel like Miro is just like the scapegoat, man. His job get lost. Of course, like I said, 2 interceptions, whatever. But every quarterback make the bad throws here now and then. But I went back and watched that game, Steve. That man did not have no time to do anything. If he gonna bench Jalen Miro, he need to be benching
the whole offensive line, basically.
The whole offensive line. I mean, for Steph McLaughlin. We need to be benching. Come on, man. Like, defensive line, they ain't getting no push. Come on. Like, if you're going to make an example from Jalen Miro, you need to do it for everybody else, too. Now, tomorrow, we're going to see if the ball keep getting snapped to the ground. Who follows that, Steve?
They're going to be on the center.
If he running for his life, like Miro been doing the last 2 games, who follows that, Steve?
The offensive line.
I think some of the fans, like, just be honest, Steve. Let's keep it a book. A lot of the fans didn't want Miro to be the quarterback, so they wanted anybody else to be the quarterback. They just keep it honest. So when he made a mistake, they'll just think, he made a mistake. This and then the third, they ain't breaking down the game from a football standpoint. Your quarterback is only good as your offensive line is. And then that's not even talking about the defense. Come on, like, you need to make some changes to the defense as well. Like, I just get tired all the time the quarterback get blamed for things that it's on coaching. Like Tommy Reese, we brought you in. You supposed to be an offensive guru, man. You haven't showed me nothing in 2 games. Even when we beat them in Tennessee State, you didn't show me anything. So I don't know, Steve, but man, roll tide, man. I wish the best, man. I just hope we didn't make the worst mistake by benching Milroe and lose his confidence. Roll tide. I'm out though.
Appreciate JD Long calling in out of Birmingham. We got some super chats that we're going to get to right now. So how about this, Eli? Get the horn going. We got Demetrius D. Maynard Sr. $49.99. Dropping in the bucket right there. Appreciate him. And then we got Don Parker. DP. Don Parker, a $10 donation. Helping us out right there on the show. Got an awesome call topic right here. Jalen Milroe, Alabama redshirt sophomore quarterback, with Tyler Buckner getting the start against South Florida. Can Milroe bounce back? Does Milroe bounce back? That's the big question. With Tyler Buckner getting the start, can Milroe bounce back at some point? Does Jalen Milroe bounce back at some point? Because I like the young man. He's talented, athletic, does have a strong arm. Some small things to be worked on, but there's a lot of good to work with there as well. We'll see, even though Buckner is starting here against South Florida. For all of y'all still in the call-in queue, hold through for 10 minutes or call back in the next 10 minutes. When we get back, we have an incredible special guest joining us. You will find out who this is, and you will be excited to see who this is. When we get back from the break, you'll listen to him on the words. We'll be right back.
What's up, Bama Nation? This is Rudy Griffin, former Alabama defensive lineman, and you're listening to my guy, Stephen M. Smith, in my own words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide, roll!
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we're back to the action from the break. Number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. You guys continue hitting that like button, tapping that subscribe button, making this your show, your spot here for all things Bama football. Well, we have our guest making his way to the platform. We have the pride of Birmingham, Alabama right here. We got the man that made Touchdown Alabama Magazine a living reality. The company started in 2007 because of this man right here. He is a graduate of the University of Alabama. He is also the incredible visionary of this company. Without further ado, the man that set everything in motion as he's going to give us the future of the brand, the founder and CEO of TDA, Benny Bice III is here, ladies and gentlemen. Benny Bice III is here. Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on?
Hey, I'm good. We got my man Ben is here, the founder, CEO of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Man, this has been around for a long, long time.
Well, I got the best writer, the best reporter, the best in the business, and Stephen M. Smith.
Look,
so
man, I'm
look,
just trying to sell hot dogs and beer, man.
man, you the best. You the best in this business. You know it. Everybody out there knows it. So I'm just blessed, honestly, to have you. To be honest,
So just some background information. So as I mentioned, fans, Touchdown Alabama Magazine started in 2007. it was a paperback copy magazine, and just something to Tanger to the Alabama football fans, because there was nothing that was just solely Alabama-centric until this came along here. And then from 2007, of course, I joined 2 years later in 2009, and it has boom.
Was 09 or 08?
It was 09.
09? Okay.
It was July of 09 is when I joined.
I remember I met you, right? I met you. I came to your house. You came down the stairs. Yeah. And you were like, hey, let's play some video games. That's the first thing you said to me. And then,
at that point in my life, I'm 15-year-old kid, barely got my learner's permit. I can drive, people. Barely got my learner's permit at the time, but that's what that was.
Well, I was a kid too. Like I had started something. I didn't, know what I had. I just know I had a vision. It wasn't any independence really like that. It was maybe one or two. Not really any independent outlets covering Alabama football, as you know. And I was told, like, you can't do it. Like, people told me, like, there's no way an independent outlet can make it in this business, of Alabama football media coverage. But, people like you and Justin, John, Eli, made it so, like, we could do it. So it was really you guys, to be honest.
So when you look at just the future here, of the brand moving forward, and there's a lot of things in the works. There's a lot of things in place. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming.
Oh, yeah.
So, and you want to kind of really dive into what can the people be looking forward to seeing?
Oh, man, all type of stuff. We're going to have new reporters. We're going to have our website. We're going to update our website. We're going to have, new shows, all type of stuff. I mean, we're about to go on a big hiring, you call it, not crunch, but the opposite of crunch, like a big hiring blitz. Gonna be bringing in more writers, more reporters, photographers, the whole thing, and then we're gonna just continue to update the website. Justin's been killing the recruiting game, but we're gonna
that guy does not sleep.
Oh, man,
people think I don't sleep. Justin does not sleep at all.
The thing with Justin, if people don't realize this, like, he's one of the only recruiting, like, you hear about all these recruiting analysts in the business.
He's doing this all himself.
What I'm saying is, you hear about all these recruiting analysts, and people don't understand, the sports business. They don't understand, how we compete with different outlets, things like that. But he's one of the only ones that's out there on the trail every week covering recruiting. He's not, looking at some huddle film most of the time. Like, he's out there getting his own film. He's out there actually making it happen. Like, that's different. That's different than what's out in the industry right now. That's one of the things that makes us different.
Ironically, about Justin, as we speak, he is actually, I think, in Saraland, covering the Saraland game tonight. One of the Alabama targets, Ryan Williams, of a 2025 class to receiver. So Justin's actually at the Saraland game right now getting that kid.
Oh, yeah.
So that just tells you this dude is literally everywhere. I know I'm doing the best that I can in terms of the current team and the guys in the NFL, but Justin is out there clocking state, city, zip code, clocking it.
Well, the thing is that at Touchdown Alabama, we have the best in the business. From you, who I consider the best when it comes to team coverage. Like, if you really look at it, look at the numbers, look at the stories, the amount of content that's being put out, there's no one in this business that's doing what you do. From writing multiple stories to breaking multiple stories to having the relationships, around the team. There's nobody in this business that's doing that. Like, not a single one. I've been in this business 15 years. So I really respect that. I think people don't really understand and give you the credit and the flowers that you deserve. Because people just see you. You're out here. You're animated. You're screaming. You're making things exciting for the fans, and they love that. But I don't think they realize what it really takes day in and day out. Like, you wake up, you start Alabama football. You go to sleep, you're doing it. Like, it's nonstop. It's a nonstop grind for what you have to do for my company. the same with Justin. You know, it's a whole different thing than what else is out, you know, in this business.
So when you look at Benny Jess, and you talked about all of the new things coming, so and just remain on top of the cutting edge of covering Alabama football with all the new stuff, what did you hope that we gain from giving those fans, hey, this is cutting edge stuff that you definitely don't want to blink, like you got to look at this?
Well, Alabama fans are the most passionate in the business. I've been all around the country. It's nothing like Alabama. It's nothing like Alabama fans. They're the smartest fans in the business, the most passionate fans in the business, and they deserve the best coverage. You know, like I look at, you know, I don't even want to name the other teams, but they have other independent outlets, but I feel like Alabama deserves the best. I want to make it where, you know, we're giving something that they've never seen before. We want to change the media landscape, where it's not just you have to go to a network. You know, there's a lot of networks and, corporate entities that cover the Tide, but I feel like it should be where you guys can get independent coverage, you can get the best coverage, you can get something that's never been seen before. So that's really the point of it all.
My man, Benny Bice right here, founder, CEO. This is the guy.
No. You're the guy. You're the guy, Steven. Look.
I appreciate it, but this is not in motion without the vision right here.
I don't know how you stay in this. It's so hot in here.
This is the guy that founded the vision. Like, the vision was birthed out through this guy right here. I appreciate him having me.
Well, look, man. Let me say this. Now, I appreciate you. I appreciate Eli, right here, that's doing our production. Our production manager, John, Cedric Mason, our photo manager, everybody that's been a part, Brandon, everybody that's been a part of this business that's helped us to grow. Pat, I know I'm forgetting people, but just thank you so much. And the fans, thank you. We're just getting started. We're going to change the game this year. Touchdown Alabama. It's nothing like what we're doing, but we're going to continue to do it. We're going to keep giving you the best coverage.
Absolutely. My man, Benny Bice right here, talking the future of TDA, the magazine, the brand, the coverage, the content, the whole digital media landscape. People, keep your eyes on that. Definitely keep your eyes on that. We're coming up with hot material, hot off the press material. We're going to actually right now, we're going to go to our next break, folks. When we get back, we're going to jump back into the phone lines. We're going to get your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We want you lighting us up. You got South Florida tomorrow. How are you feeling? We get to you guys, back to you guys right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care. In support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, you know, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we're back in here to the action from the break. Number one ticket. We're talking Bama. Football news, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Appreciate in that previous segment the founder, CEO of the brand, Benny Bice, joining us right there. A lot of cool new stuff coming to the company, but we got some super chats right now. We got J.D. Long. Holy we go! $19.99 in the Super Chats. Wait a minute, folks. Wait a minute. Jimmy, cash, money, bag it up, Clay. $50. Here we go. Whoa! On a Friday. Thanks to you guys. Making this fun. Doing what you do. Donating to the show. We go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Oh, how you doing, Stephen Smith? This is Jerry from Gary, Indiana. Long-time Alabama fan. And I just got three things. First, as we know, Alabama's always had a quarterback that managed the game. And I think that's what Saban is trying to do, find one of these 3 or 4 guys that can manage the game without, turning the ball over, whatever. Also, that's just one game we lost and one game we won. So don't get panicky, Alabama fans, because it's not over yet. And then if it was me and I was Saban, I would put all them guys in a room and let them watch the tape of the 2015 Alabama team that lost that one game. And they were saying we can't afford to lose any more games. So let them watch that and get back to the Bama standard. And about Saban retiring, I don't think he's going anywhere. Sometimes we can force people out instead of rattling around it, because he just gave us a lot of wins and a whole lot of championships. So just get behind him and the team, and we'll see where we're at after maybe 5 or 6 games, and then we'll probably have a quarterback that'll be able to manage the game. So roll tide, Gary, Indiana. Have a good one, Stevie.
Appreciate Jared from Indiana calling in, and Jared brings up a good point. That 2015 team did lose to Ole Miss early in the season, but it found who its quarterback was, and that was Jacob Coker. And once it found the quarterback, that team got on a roll, got on a run. Can this team find its identity? We'll see how they play against South Florida and then moving forward. We're going to grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Steve, Jovi, Run the Table Sports TV, man. I'm pissed off, man.
Hey, let's go, Jovi. Let's go.
Hey, man. Hey, they did the Sandman, the Miro, didn't he? From Showtime and the Apollo.
Man, I'm just saying, man. But hey, I mean, now we gonna see how good for real is Tyler Buckner. We gonna see. Now we're gonna see.
I mean,
they're gonna put him. They're putting him out there. They putting him out there against South Florida. He gonna get his look. Now we gonna see, is Tyler Buckner really something?
He was spinning that thing in practice, though. I mean, he got a nice zip on his pads. He can get out of there, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not down on it, but don't just tear the Miro down too soon. But let's see how Tyler does. And I want to say something about OJ from Florence, but he was dead on about Tommy Reese up in that box with his head down like a little kid, man. I saw that. I was like, man, it's like my little son when I tell him to do homework or something. He's sitting up there with his hand on his head, man. I wanted to run up there and snatch him out that box myself, man. Him and Tommy Reese got to get their asses down on that, excuse my language, got to get their tails down on that field, man. Forget the box stuff, man. Y'all too new to the system, to the program. Get down there next to Nick Saban where he can get in your ear when you mess up something, man. That's what we got to get going on. And let's see what happens USF tomorrow. Let's see what go down, man. We can't afford to lose no more, Steve. And you know what it is with me, roll tide, roll tide.
Appreciate Jovi calling in right there. And I mean, I've said this myself. Both coordinators need to be on the field to have an eye level with the players. What do they see? Make adjustments on the fly. Those kinds of things. I mentioned this Monday and Wednesday. Did I say this Monday and Wednesday, Eli? I think I said that Monday and Wednesday. Both coordinators need to be on the field. We're going to take this call, though. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name. Where you calling from?
Hey, Steven. It's Mattress Matt. How you doing tonight?
Matt, what's happening, my man?
Oh, man, I've really been enjoying your show. You do a really good job, man. But I'm starting, and all of us that wanted Buckner in there are going to look really stupid if he doesn't do well. But what I think is cool is it's pretty much like the season starting over again. You know, it's kind of like, you know, we had MTSU the first game, then we had a tough opponent. You know, now we've got kind of an MTSU-like team in South Florida, but probably a little better than MTSU. And then I think it's Ole Miss after that. So it's basically we're getting a redo. We're getting another chance. So Buckner's probably going to look really good. We're going to be excited about him and everything. And then we're going to have the test again, like we had the test with Texas again, and we'll have Ole Miss. And so that'll be the real test again. But I think one reason we have a good chance is that Bill O'Brien isn't there anymore. I'm still excited that Bill O'Brien's gone. I think Tommy Rees was calling some good plays. I think his offense is a lot better than Bill O'Brien. But I think now, you know, we're going to have a quarterback who is going to be able to get the ball into some of the talent's hands. You know, there's so much talent on the team. I mean, receivers that are lightning fast. And I can't wait just to see everybody contribute, you know?
I mean, Matt, I am too. I'm excited to see everybody contribute, and I'm excited to see this combination, this duo of Reese and Buckner. Can it work at Alabama? Can this combination work? I'm also excited to see the offensive line that talked so much in the summer. Can you put forth some action?
Look, can I say one thing about that? You know, people were saying that Milroe didn't have any time. Now, now somebody can go correct me if I'm wrong, but I went back and I looked at I sell mattresses, okay, and I got some time when I don't have customers to sit there and watch video and stuff. And I was just sitting there watching it, and I was counting the seconds and the time that Milroe had. And when you average it all out, I mean, he was getting, I don't remember the exact number of seconds, but he had a lot of time, a lot more time than I thought. I thought I was going to get on there and watch and be like, he never had any time. There was times he was standing back there, and he had all day. I really don't think the offensive line was the problem. I think Milroe made the offensive line look bad. Now, that's just my opinion, okay? But, so, I mean, I don't have anything personal against Milroe. Matter of fact, I was excited about Milroe. And I've got friends, that they, I've got friends, okay, I'm down here in Mobile, and my clientele at the mattress store, primarily 90% black. Okay, I've got a lot of friends who just they want Milroe in there. They want a black quarterback, and I was all in on it. And I've got, I was watching the game with, half of the people I watched the game with are big Milroe, fans, and so you've got Milroe fans out there who just love Milroe, and I was one of them. I love Milroe. There's nothing more than I like to see than somebody like Milroe make highlight reels. But what I want to see most is I want to see Alabama win. I want to see them get a national championship. You have a great night.
Appreciate Mattress Matt from Mobile calling in, giving his thoughts on the show on a Friday. We continue with phone calls. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
My name is Jimmy, and I'm calling from Tennessee.
Hey, how we feeling tonight?
Oh, well, I tell you, I just got over being sick, but I'm better tonight. talking about Alabama. So I've got 9 quick points. Number one, roll tide. I think Alabama's a good team, and remember, Alabama, no team can win every game. We just need to remember that. The first thing is I watched the game, and I tell you, I wanted all these quarterbacks to do good. Milrose has got a great arm. He's a great athlete. I think if they were to roll him out and give him more time to see down the field, he's got the arm to throw it to the end zone. He could throw it all over the field. They just need to give him some time. But that offensive line, from what I saw, the offensive line and the defensive line were crap. Milrose was making some bad decisions. He needs to learn to make better decisions. And if he can't throw, he needs to run. He don't need to stand back there and throw interceptions and so forth. Next thing I saw was nothing. Let's see here. The offense, the defense, they were both horrible, I thought. They need to open up the bench. If from what I saw, that offensive line, they all need to be benched. And they need to bring in these backup offensive lines and defensive lines and see what they can do. Also the coaches on the field, I believe they need to get out of the box, get down on the field, talk to the players, coach them up, find out what's going on, talk to them, and because the players can tell those coaches, what they see, and it's kind of that having to go back and forth in the box. To me, the coaches need to be on the field so they could have one-on-one with their players, and I think they need to use the tight ends more. And I didn't understand in the last game we watched, the running game was doing great, but then all of a sudden the offensive line collapsed, and our running backs having to run to the outside, and they were getting stopped in the backfield and running to the outside. That offensive line there again has got to stand up. Whoever's quarterback is going to have a rough time if they don't stand up to who we played. Now UCF, the next game we play. They are better than Middle Tennessee State, and they're going to be a challenge. I think we're going to beat them, but we need to show the country who we are. So that's just my thought on it.
Appreciate Jimmy calling in from Tennessee, giving his thoughts here on a Friday to the show. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen M. This is Stephen N. My name's Stephen as well, from Mobile, Alabama.
What's going on, Stephen?
Doing great. First of all, love your show. Well, first of all, that other caller talking about he has a whole bunch of black friends and stuff, that was kind of cringe. But anyway, let's talk Alabama football here. I've been a Bama fan for about 45 years, and I've never seen a team this bad. But we're talking about Texas over and over. We know they lost against Texas. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's move on. Now, UCF. I think Bama's going to lose by 10. Let me explain why before you go crazy in the comments. First of all, Jalen Milroe. He's good. He's not great, but he's good. But I just think he's not the pick. I don't know about Buckner. Buckner hasn't been here long enough. He doesn't have that Bama juice running through his veins yet. I'm not sure. I just don't trust this team. I don't trust the D-line. I don't trust the O-line. And I'm telling you this right now. You can see my Twitter on Steve with the Cheese at twitter.com. If they lose this game, I'm revoking my Bama fandom. I will no longer be a Bama fan because I'm sick of it. Last year before that, it's just not the same. They were knocking heads off. They used to do the do, but they don't anymore. But that's all I have to say. I think UCF's going to take it. That's a hot take from me. I just don't trust this team. Let's be real. But that's all I had to say. Thanks for your call.
Stephen in from Mobile with a Stephen in from USF to win by 10. Whoa. Eli. You believe that? Wow. Stephen in from We're on to a call topic here, folks. This was going to be on one Jalen Hurts, former Alabama quarterback, now in the NFL with the Philadelphia Eagles, got the team 2-0 on the season. he just inked a NIL partnership, not NIL partnership, he just inked an endorsement partnership deal with Beats by Dre. So congratulations to Jalen Hurts, 2-0 with the Eagles. Got this partnership with Beats by Dre. We're going to take our final break. That Stephen Ian phone call. Whoa. We're going to take our final break on the show. When we get back, we're going to wrap this thing up with the these retirement rumors from Nick Saban popping back up again. I don't think it happens. But we're going to talk about that right after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama. And you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, folks, we're back into the action here from the break. Hottest show on the streets. Talking your Bama football news in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. My man Eli Walker in the production studio. Thanks to all of you hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, donating to the show, making this your spot here for all things Bama football. We're going to get to the final topic here, Eli, conversation on head coach Nick Saban. These retirement rumors are sparking up again. I can't stand it, but they're sparking up again. It started, about 5 years ago, Eli? But now they're back again. These retirement rumors of Saban's done, he needs to retire, it's over, the players don't vibe with him no more. He doesn't have a way with the players. This is a new age, new era, NIL, transfer portal. Saban's too old school. He doesn't speak the language of these kids anymore. The end is near. Here we go again. The end is near retirement. And Saban was on the Pat McAfee show, ESPN's Pat McAfee this week, where he addressed those statements again, saying this is laughable. That's what Nick Saban called it. This is laughable. I like what I do. I love what I do. I love the challenge that we have. I love the challenge that I have as a coach. He's always said, when I get to a point to where I'm dragging the program down as a coach, then I will step away. Then I will leave the game. I don't think Coach Saban is dragging the program down, and I don't see a retirement from Coach Saban anytime soon. What I think it is Saban needing to find a way to not only adapt to the whole new age to athlete with NIL thing, but also get back to recruiting the athletes where NIL doesn't matter to them. They want to just ball. They get Alabama, they love Alabama, and all they want to do is ball. I think if Saban can get back to recruiting that athlete where NIL does not move them, NIL does not change them or affect them. They're about, I want to be on the field, I want to ball, I want to play for the University of Alabama. If you can get back to getting those types of athletes, and then if you can get back to getting coaches that are specialists, they specialize in what they do regardless of either side of the ball, regardless of position. You get coaches that specialize, they are elite in what they do and be able to keep those coaches for long term, then those are the two things that'll really help Coach Saban. Getting back to recruiting the athlete where Bama is everything to them, and the NIL doesn't affect them emotionally, mentally, that type of deal. And then getting the coaches that are specialists in their craft. A lot of you are wondering, does Saban have another championship run in him? It's there, but but there are some things that have to be cleaned up before it happens. It's there. Championship run is there, but it's got to get some things cleaned up before it happens. Got to get the specialists in there in terms of coaches. Got to get the players in there that want Bama, not NIL. I want Alabama. You get those two things right, you can salvage this. You can salvage this. As always, Bama Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, material on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store. If you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out. iTunes or Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. The good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll be back on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Tide football. Gotta give a shout out to you, the Bama fans, for all the donations, the calls, the chats, the dialogue. You making this your show here for all things Tide football. Gotta give a shout out to the man, Benny Bice, the CEO and founder of TDA, slotted in, giving us the word on the future of the company. Gotta show some love to my man, Eli Walker, in the production studio, holding it down right there. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives, appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, too. Not be bored there. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and as always, you've been listening to In My Own Words. Enjoy the game tomorrow.